Well, it looks like we can use many of our same tools for the objects on the back of the vehicle here. We could, let's begin with this one here. I'll hit the division key and tab into edit mode, and let's take a look at it. Now, I recall, yes, now I recall, I just extruded these pieces out of this cube-like shape. And in doing that, it made it a little bit complex to actually UV map. So I may once again give Smart UV Project an opportunity to prove itself here. Let me tab into edit mode and look at the scale. It's uniform, but it hasn't been applied. So let's go ahead and press Control A and apply the scale. And I'll just select everything here and hit U, and let's choose Smart UV Project, and I'll click OK. And there we go. That's what we have. I think that'll be fine. If we take the angle limit up to 89, that maybe reduces the number of UV islands a little bit. But I think generally speaking, that'll be fine. Let's go ahead and give it a material. Yep, that looks pretty good. Okay, and let's hit the division key and go back. And let's grab this guy right up here. And once again, the scale has not been applied, so let's go ahead and do that. Control A and apply the scale. We tab into edit mode. We could probably split out the bottom part like we've done before. And go ahead and grab these corners and split those out as well. There we go. So now let's hit A, U, and unwrap. And that looks fine. So let's give it a material. How's it look? Looks good. I think that'll work. Let's hit the division key. And what else should we work on? Well, how about the thing right behind it here? Let's hit the division key here. And for this, it looks like it's got both a solidify and a mirror modifier. So let's go ahead and apply the solidify here. Let's remove the mirror, at least temporarily. And now let's take a look at this. It looks like the scale has been applied, so that's good. Let's hit the tab key and let's select edges all the way around the front of this. Right along here and down into here. All right. And it's pretty thin, so I don't know that we're going to need to select these corners all the way around. Let's give it a try and see. I'll hit the A key, U, and unwrap. And yeah, that's pretty good. Let's take a look at angle-based. Oh yeah, that's not going to work. That pulling is from us not selecting and splitting out those corners, but it looks like, as I said, it's thin enough so that conformal really does the trick for us here. I think that'll be fine. All right, let's tab back into object mode. Let's go ahead and give it the material. Yeah, and if we hit the division key to go back, let's go ahead and mirror this over. Add modifier, mirror, and there it is there. And since we can see it on both sides at the same time, let's go ahead and click that apply button and get that mirrored over. All right. We've got a similar thing here. Let's go ahead and look at that. We can once again apply the solidify modifier and remove the mirror modifier temporarily. The scale has been applied, so let's tab into edit mode and let's just do the same thing. Let's just select that front edge all the way around like this. And it looks like we're going to need to grab these here and mark the seam there. There we go. And let's hit A and U and unwrap. Yep, looking pretty good. Let's add that material. And there we go. Yeah, I think that works out pretty well. Let's go ahead and mirror it over again here and apply it. And then we'll hit the division key and go back. All right. So what about this guy right up here, this thing? Let's hit the division key, and it has a mirror modifier on it. But since it's connected, I don't want to remove it and UV map it like that. I think what we need to do is go ahead and apply it, and then we can just remove that edge. So let's hit apply, and then come in here and alt-click this edge, X, and dissolve edges. And let's take a look at the scale. Yep, it's uniform, but it hasn't been applied. Let's press Control A and apply the scale there. Now I think what let's do is select that edge all the way around, Alt Shift click, and I'm going to select the one on the bottom all the way around here, like this. And we can apply a seam there. Now we are going to need to go through and select the corners of this so we can split those corners apart. Let's do that. And if we hit A and U and unwrap, that's what we get. It's not too pretty. Oh, we probably need to select the corners on the inside as well. Let's check the angle based. Yeah, I think what let's do is go ahead and select these edges in here, right here. And now let's try it again. Let's unwrap it. And yeah, that looks a whole lot better. So we can apply our material with the test pattern. And that looks pretty good too. Everything's all squares and fairly uniform. All right, let's hit the division key. And maybe we could take a look at this piece here too. It's a little oddly shaped, so I'm not sure how we want to do this. First of all, we should apply the solidify modifier. Let's go ahead and do that. And then if we removed the mirror modifier, once again, we'd be breaking it in half, and let's not do that. So I will apply the mirror modifier, and if we tab into edit mode, we can't really remove this edge in the center the way we've done with others, because this is giving us that shape there that's holding up that angle. So we can't really just remove that center edge, and that's fine. We don't need to. Now, for this, I think we would need to select edges all the way around, then select edges all the way around on the other side, then go through and select all the edges around each of the corners. And it's not impossible, but it is a little time consuming. So I think what let's do, let's give Smart UV Project a try and see how it works. So if I look at the scale, yeah, okay, that is applied. Now we can hit U and press Smart UV Project and OK. And this is what we get. It just doesn't look quite right. Now, why would that be? We could go ahead and scale this. We could hit S and Y and scale this up so that our squares on our test material are actually square, and that would be good. We could get that so our texture wouldn't be stretched. But since the UV map is kind of squished, even when our scale has been applied, there's probably something else wrong here. And if you recall, what is it that I'm having trouble remembering to do? That is remove internal faces. And sure enough, look in here. Look in there. We've got a few internal faces. So let's go ahead and delete those. And let's try this again. I'll go back to solid mode. Actually, let's go to Look Dev here. And now if we select everything, hit U and go to Smart UV Project, let's see what happens. And guess what? It's still having that problem. So those internal faces are probably not the issue here. We can go ahead and hit S and Y here and scale that up, get them more square like this. And then we can go ahead and pack UV islands here. But sometimes an object is just oddly shaped enough where you may have to do a little bit of scaling just manually in one way or the other. All right, let's go ahead and hit the division key. And for our next video, let's go ahead and begin working on some of the pieces right back here around the bumper and the back axle.